viewers, welcome to today's Big Brother 18 updates and spoilers. Our house guest of the day is Beth Morgan. Yay! Hope you're enjoying this freaking nutso week. It's been a wild ride. But thank you for your support, and if you guys want to be house guest of the day like Beth, check out our Patreon link in the info box below for more information. Alright, so yesterday, Paulie began his apple pie punishment. This is a punishment that will be going on for the rest of the summer or however long Paulie is still around. So basically, he's got to bake a pie every time Baby Zingbot comes over the speaker and is like, "Oh, say, can you see?" It's like that. But if you want more details on the rules for this punishment, check out yesterday's spoiler, because right at the end I kind of outline everything that has to do with it. There's certain steps that he has to follow. But anyway, Paulie was preparing his first pie and he was already breaking the rules. He's supposed to be waving that Zingbot flag around for 40 minutes while the pie is baking in the oven, but instead he started cleaning up during that time. He was just like, I'm gonna do what I want. So then the feeds kept cutting out because he kept talking about his ex-fiance, and I guess like she didn't sign a waiver, so can't be having that, or sign a release. Can't be talking about her on the feeds. So then when the feeds finally do come back for a little bit, he's walking around the kitchen crying as he's waving his flag. And he's just like, my ex told me that it was over forever if I came on this show, and like things ended because I got all this attention after Cody was on the show. Really? Because her friend said on Twitter that he cheated on her with like 5 different people. Okay, but anyway, that's none of my business. So then, Paul and Natalie are comforting him. I really didn't mean to do that. They were comforting him, telling him, like, it's okay to cry. Let it out. You're not a baby for crying. You're just a human being, and that's totally great. So they're trying to make him feel better. So Paulie finishes up his first pie, and then he goes outside to work out. A few minutes later, Big Brother calls him in to make another. It's all, oh, sick. You know. But he's just like, no. Are you freaking kidding me? I'm not doing it. So he totally ignores it. He says that he's going to work out. He's not going to be making that pie. So he's running around the backyard with Victor. Big Brother calls him again a few minutes later. And again, he does not go inside. He's just like, no, I'm not doing it. So then Big Brother calls him to the diary room. And he ignores it. Keeps running around in the backyard. And he's like, can't a man work out? I told you I needed it. So apparently, I mean, he told him in the diary room, like, I need to get out my aggression, or something like that. So the feeds went down for like 10-ish minutes, I want to say. So when they come back, Corey is talking to Paulie in the kitchen, and he was being very stern with Paulie. And he was basically telling him, like, you need to cut the shit right now. So it was, I'm going to be honest, this conversation was awesome. First of all, Corey was wearing his patriotard, so it was almost like America was giving Paulie a talking to. But the things that Corey says are just like hilarious in a weird way that I can't explain. But he's telling him, like, don't do this, man. Like, you signed up for this, and you just need to kill everyone with kindness. You can decide to be happy. And he's telling him, like, I'm the happiest 25-year-old man there is. Because I want to be. Like, I decided to be happy. So he's telling Paulie, like, please stop. You have nothing to be upset about. You're on a bomb-ass TV show. You've got awesome friends and family who care about you. So then he's telling Paulie, like, yeah, it sucks that we got screwed over, and one of us is going home this week, but what are you going to do? Like, what did you expect when you came on this show? We were just going to, like, steamroll through the whole thing? And Paulie's like, well, I can't help it. I wear my emotions on my sleeves. So then Corey's telling him, nobody wants to see you like this. Everybody wants to see the badass Calafury brother. And Paulie is just like, you know what? I'm going to do this for you because you're my boy. So yeah, Paulie's like, I'm going to turn it around. Let's do this. So then Paulie announces to everyone, just so you know, I didn't get in trouble from Big Brother for not making that pie, but I've got to pull it together now and be a good sport about it. So then, a couple minutes later, Big Brother calls Paulie to make another pie. And this time, he cooperates. So he's like, thanks, Corey, for helping me turn things around. So then he starts telling Corey his new plan of action. He's not giving up yet. He wants to try and get Victor to use the power veto on Corey and put up James in his place. What happened to Paulie not wanting to campaign against any of the guys? I guess that's out the window now, right? Because all of his other plans didn't work. So Paulie goes ahead and proposes his new plan to Victor. And poor Victor. He was washing dishes at the time, and Paulie, like, cornered him. He couldn't get away, and this is where things, like, really start going downhill. Like, if you thought before was bad, this is rough. So Paulie is telling Victor, look, man, I'm trying to win this money to pay off my family's debts and to help my aunt who's battling cancer. Oh, my God. Okay, so then Paulie's asking Victor to put up James in Corey's place, and he's like, people might vote him out, and, like, it'll be really good for you to have me around. So now he's not even saying, you know, before he was saying that he wanted to just not be up on the block against Corey, and he was going to go home anyway. But now he's very much like, I'll stay in this house, and I want to help you and Paul get to the end. So he's trying to play it like he's totally checked out of this game, and he's just trying to further Paul and Victor. It's very much like a Tim, Big Brother Canada in a way. But then he's like, I swear on my grandma, my friggin' aunt who's fighting cancer, that I won't put you up if I win HOH, and I won't put Paul up. I swear, he said grandma, and then said, friggin' aunt. What? Oh my God. Okay, so then he's telling Victor, if I win HOH next week, I'll go after a girl. We'll keep it with the guys. It's all good. And then he's saying if I don't win HOH, that you can put me up and get rid of me next week. He just wants to have less time in the jury house. This is so ridiculous. So Victor's like, okay, well, I'll keep it in mind, but no promises. Victor just wants to punch him in the face right now, I feel like, because Paulie is just not, he will not stop. And honestly, like, I respect that Paulie is fighting to stay in this game, but I do not like his campaign strategies. I think it's dirty, I think it's gross, and it's messed up. So then, Paulie pulls Paul aside when Paul is in the middle of a freaking security check, man. He's the Secret Service running around here, and Paulie's just like, I need to talk to you, man. So he tells him, I tried to make another deal with Victor, and he's going through this plan that he proposed to Victor. Again, he slips up and says, I swore to Victor on my grandma, I mean aunt that has cancer. What? Yeah, so, I'm not, you know, I feel like, yes, Paulie probably does have an aunt that has cancer, and that's really, really sad, but everybody's got something, you know, and I think it's really messed up that he's, like, putting that onto people, and it's just not right. So then he's telling Paul, like, yeah, I want to be able to vote for you and Victor in the end. I want to be in that jury house to give you guys my vote. I wouldn't want to leave it up to America instead of me. And he says that he doesn't want to ruin the integrity of the game. Wow, if you don't want to ruin the integrity, then just go to the freaking jury house and do what you're supposed to do. I mean, it's very simple. But it's almost like he's saying, like, my vote's going to be left up to America if you don't keep me in the house, because I'm just going to leave the jury. So that's, like, really creepy. But just keep in mind, too, during this whole conversation, Paul was extremely out of breath because he was running all around the house, and he was just like, it's okay, man, whatever. He was not there to chat. So I just have to mention, too, by the way, Paul is really embracing this Secret Service punishment, and it's hilarious to watch. I'm loving it. Okay, so later on, Paulie and Victor are playing pool, and Paulie is saying, like, I just wanted all the guys to make it to the end together. Like, how freaking awesome would that be? Which is bro down, good times. And then he's saying, like, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm checked out. But I also don't want to go to the jury house. So he's trying to say that they should keep him in the house because he doesn't care anymore. Really? Really? So you should take someone else's spot who does care? And he's freaking lying! Of course he still wants to play the game. Come on. So it just doesn't make sense. He's contradicting himself a lot. And one of the big contradictions here, he's saying that he's trying to play this game and win money to help his aunt. But he's willing to leave the jury house if he's evicted and give up his stipend. Supposedly it's like $14,000, and that's not like chump change. You could do a lot with that, but it's not adding up. So Paul and Victor were chatting in the HOH room. They were comparing notes on the whole Paulie situation, all of his latest campaigning, and they're really just like, you know what, it's not cool that he keeps bringing up his aunt like this. And every time he mentions his aunt, he's like, my aunt who's dying from cancer. Okay, so Victor's like, we've all got problems, and it's just like, yeah, we feel bad for his aunt, but we've all got stuff going on here. So then they talk about how Paulie earlier on in the season was trashing Natalie because she was talking about how she wants to win the money to pay off her student loans, and he was like, that's like a personal thing, you're trying to guilt everybody. Which, okay, 2 levels here. First of all, look at what Paulie's doing now. Second, remember when Cody was on? I remember clearly Cody mentioning over and over again that he had crazy student loans to pay off, and that's what he wanted to do with the money. So I'm just putting that out there. But anyway, Paul and Victor want to tell James that Paulie is now trying to get him on the block, let him know what's going on. So they do. Victor talks to James, Paul talks to Natalie, and of course James and Natalie are both pissed because Paulie has also tried to come after Natalie this week. So they all think that Paulie's being a sore loser. Agreed. And they think that his campaigning has been dirty. Also agreed. Okay. So then Paul tells Corey and Nicole about Paulie's latest plan, which is to get James up on the block. And Corey starts getting really pissed. He's just like, oh, doggy, I want you to know, like, I'm not a part of that. So, like, if he's saying that I am, I'm not involved in that. So then James comes in, and he tells Corey, like, no, I don't believe that you're involved, so just, like, relax. But Corey is getting upset. He's like, I kind of want to call Paulie out right now on this, but I don't want him to freaking start crying and freak out. So he doesn't want to play with fire there. So then Paul, Victor, and Meech were talking about Paulie in the HOH room. Paulie is the big topic here. I mean, what else are they going to talk about? So, I mean, it's the same stuff over and over again. They're over him. They think it's creepy what he's doing with his campaigning. And now they're also talking about Nicole and Corey. They are not buying that those two aren't involved in all of Paulie's plans to get other people up on the block. They know if somebody else went up, they would be voting that person out and try to keep Paulie and keep working with him. But now that they see that Paulie is a sinking ship, they are just jumping off. They're getting off of that ship. And they're saying doesn't matter because Nicole and Corey are still going to be the next targets. Okay, so this morning, Big Brother gave the costumed people special swimsuit editions of their costumes. So they were pretty similar. Like Paul's was a suit like without the sleeves, and there was shorts, and then, you know, unitards for the other ones. So that's Nicole, Corey, and Paul. Now they can go in the pool. Isn't that great? So then Paulie was pitching the same shit to Paul, and Paul was just like, yeah, whatever. But one new thing that Paulie mentioned, he does not want to be in the jury house alone with Zakiya and Davon. Don't worry, Bridget's there too. Your favorite feminist. Okay, so anyway, they had the power veto ceremony. And as planned, Victor did not use it, which means that either Corey or Paulie will be leaving the house on Thursday unless one of them has the round-trip ticket. And of course, Paulie is still saying, oh, everybody except for me and Corey should open up their envelopes and see, like, if we have a chance this week. Because it is the last week that they're even eligible to use them. But come on, man, don't be like that. So then Paulie was telling Nicole all about the last deal that he proposed to Victor about getting rid of James, and Nicole's just like, oh yeah, I think that's a great deal, and I totally would have taken it if it was me. Like 2 weeks of safety and get rid of James. Yeah, maybe that's why you didn't win your other season. So then, Paulie was just like trashing the cast, and he was saying, all these people suck, like you and Corey are the only ones that I want to hang out with. and he's just saying how wonderful everyone from Nicole's first season was. Did you ever think maybe that's because you weren't playing with them? Of course you're gonna still like them. I mean, really. So then he keeps saying again he's gonna leave the jury if he has to be there for 5 weeks. But he wants to honor the integrity of the game. So he's trying to tell people, like, 4 weeks, fine. But 5 weeks, I can't do it. Okay. So Paul, Natalie, and James were strategizing. And, you know, they've already decided Paulie is going this week. It's a done deal. But they want to make sure that Corey is going to be the target for next week. Which means that Corey or Nicole cannot win the next HOH competition. So they're trying to come up with a plan to freak Nicole out for that HOH. So they want to act like Paulie might be staying this week to make Nicole and Corey feel really paranoid and throw them off so they're all shaky for the competition. And Paul also wants to try and get Paulie and Corey to campaign against each other, cause some tension within the group, see what kind of information they can pull out of them. Does it really matter at this point, though? I mean, I don't think they needed more info. But anyway, this is important. They all agree Paulie is still leaving this week 100%, no matter what. But they want to have a little fun here and mess around. So then, can you believe this? Okay, so now Paulie and Corey are definitely on the block together. Power veto ceremony's over. So Paulie is pretty much campaigning here. Paul talked to him earlier and was like, you really should campaign. I'm not saying you have to trash Corey, but you know, you can still fight for yourself. So he's pushing that thing. He's pushing that plan into action. So Paulie was campaigning to Natalie, and he's like, if I win HOH next week, I won't come after you or your people, which is hilarious because he already told Paul and Victor he wouldn't go after them. So now he's saying he's not going to go after Natalie and James. He's definitely not going to go after Nicole and Corey. So what, he's going to nominate Michelle and his butt? Like, I don't know. He's not really leaving any other options there. But again, he's still really pushing the whole aunt thing. And Natalie's just like, I'm so sorry. She's trying to relate with him on a human level. She's telling him about her family that she's lost to cancer. And it's just too much. So then this afternoon, Victor came out of the diary room with an announcement. I have an announcement. Big Brother was giving them some fair type thing. And there's like food and prizes and a freaking Ziggy Marley concert. What? So I don't know if there's some sort of luxury challenge or something, because I saw, I guess there's like a Ziggy Marley concert in LA in the next few days, so maybe like somebody's gonna get to leave the house to go to the concert like they did a few seasons ago. I don't know. But the feeds went down a little while later. They gave them an hour or so to get ready for the show, and that's where we're at right now. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. What do you think of Paulie's campaigning? I'm curious. And until tomorrow, much love.
Edit.